Hey, what's going on, guys? Fizz here. So I wanted to talk about the 3.17 delay, some general thoughts I had on it, as well as kind of like my opinion on like the delay itself, and then like the kind of like environment surrounding PoE right now, the general like sense, like the feelings and stuff I have based on the game and GGG and everything. And in the background will just be some random Atlas invasion gameplay from my last stream. This is literally like, this is not like a VOD that I've downloaded. This is a VOD straight from Twitch. I have Twitch full screen here. So this is going to be like the A8 Cirrus kill that I did on my DD5 link right before I ended stream. And then once I do that, I'll probably hop to a different point in the VOD. You guys can see general mapping stuff. So I'll start off, by the way. I'm still playing Atlas Invasion. I don't really care about Delirium, and I've been having a blast with this build, and I don't really feel finished with it, so I don't want to put it down yet since the league is voided. I can't just come back to it after the next event ends, which is something I'll get into later in the video. But yeah, I'm gonna be playing Atlas Invasion until it ends, and then it sucks. If it was a little bit longer, I'd go for 100 push, but I don't really have time to do that. I'm only level 96 on my necro. I haven't been going like super hard for quite a few days now. Just been kind of chilling. I leveled to Glad too. Anyway, time to get into the actual meat of the video. So 3.17 gets delayed. Honestly, I was so sad. I woke up the other day with it being added to me in Discord. It was the first thing I saw and I woke up and I was so sad. So I honestly, normally you guys know that I don't typically agree with Reddit takes, and surprisingly enough, I'm following that trend, but I didn't expect to this time around. So I was actually kind of salty when I saw the delay. And then I immediately checked Reddit to see what people were saying, because I figured it would be a shit show. And a lot of people were like, good, delay it, make it good. Which honestly, super surprised me. Obviously not everyone was saying that, but that seemed to be like the overwhelming sentiment from when I checked the Reddit, which was really surprising, to be honest. I was expecting people to be pissed. Because normally I get flack in my stream for being a GGG defender. I don't think I am that much. I think sometimes people just bandwagon on stupid opinions, and you know, like you try to be like a little bit objective generally when looking at things, and I think a lot of people just get mad over nothing a lot of the time when it comes to GG. But this time I was pissed. I'm okay with delays. Let me start with that. I'm okay with delays. Delays are perfectly fine. There's been multiple leagues in the past where I felt they should have delayed and they didn't. However, it's just, I would say, unfortunate, this delay, the timing of it, because they could not have chose a worse league to delay. Before I get into this, they're not delaying 3.17. They are extending 3.16. Very PR-esque wording there. I'm pretty sure in the initial post, they didn't say delayed once. They only said extending the current league. They never actually directly said they were delaying 3.17. So good PR person there. They have writing the post. Anyway, I'm okay with delays. However, Scourge feels like they completely forgot about it so early on. They like at the beginning of Scourge, obviously a lot of problems. People made tons of posts, all sorts of stuff. And then they made a post. They were going to go on Bay class. They said they had changes coming down the pipeline, blah, 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 blah. None of that ever happened. They made that one change where everything dropped tier 3 Scourge, which actually just made it worse. Because you couldn't like potentially fix an item or Scourge something else if it had like decent mods but a bad Scourge modifier on it. Which, yeah, so it debatably made it worse. And then they just, yeah, nothing else after that. Completely dropped it. And a lot of the changes weren't hard or big changes that needed to be made. They could have just been number tweaks or stuff like that. But no, they just completely abandoned the league. So I was of the mindset, and I think a lot of people were of the mindset, there was a bunch of crying about Scourge being abandoned. Rightly so, right? They just totally dipped. But I think the general sentiment and the thought there was that, okay, well, they're taking this time and they're just focusing purely on 3.17. They're going to make 3.17 good. It's going to be really good because they're not doing anything with Scourge. That's what I thought. the general sentiment was. I mean, that's the feeling that I had, right? And that's definitely what I felt too. But then they ended up delaying 3.17 anyway. So it kind of feels like we're getting a double delay in a sense, if that makes sense. It feels like they already kind of delayed content in the game because they just abandoned Scourge League, and then they're also pushing the next league back. So like Scourge League already felt really filler, and then they left it to die, and then they also pushed back 3.17. It's like bam, bam, bam. So it feels really bad. I saw a tweet from Tarky saying like, it really sucks for like small content creators who like rely on this to like pay bills, because like 100%, as me like doing the YouTube stuff and all that content and stuff now, I definitely see it. Like when there's events, and especially like league launches, like your numbers are like easily 10 times what they normally are. Like it's insane. Obviously, I make pennies from this. I don't care about the money side. What I do care about is the content. And it can be like really hard to make like engaging content in content droughts, right? Like, and also like forcing yourself to play the game when like there's nothing going on feels really awkward. Which kind of like brings me to my next point, which is the events were timed very poorly for this. They were supposed to be a gap filler. I think it's very apparent that this delay was not planned. Things must be going really whack right now for them to do this. Because the events were basically like, okay, yeah, Scourge is completely fucked. Numbers are super low. Let's try to retain some people by doing some random events. YOLO, whatever. Some of the events were really stupid, like Endless Heist. Don't know why they thought that was a good idea. But on top of that, the events were layered on top of each other. It felt really, really weird that we had multiple 10-day events, and that 7 days in on every event, the next event started. Which there were a ton of like MTX prizes and demis and all sorts of stuff. And it felt, other people have talked about this, right? But it feels really weird to push for something when 100%, it doesn't matter like how far ahead you are just eventually going to lose if you play every event. Because if I push 7 days really hard on Necro, like right here, I'm ranked 2, right? But if I go and I play Delirium when it comes out, there are going to be people who sit out Delirium and just push, and then I don't get any demis from that. Like, obviously, like, who actually cares about demis? Not a lot of people, right? Like, who actually cares? But it just feels bad because pushing ladder is fun. Okay, like, it's just a fun thing to do in the game. And it feels bad to, like, push for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, Tai made a tweet about this, too. Like, it's really hard to, like, actually care about it when, like, everything is for nothing anyway. Because the next event's going to start, and you either don't play in that event, or you do play in that event, and you basically forgo everything you've done in the previous event. I think, especially with the delay now, the events could have been structured way, way better. I don't think anyone's going to argue that. They should have been, in my opinion, 2 weeks long with no overlap. And that would have completely lined us up. We would have had events to play all the way until the new league launch. I think that would have worked way, way better. So it sucks that it worked out the way it did. Obviously, it would have been a 2-week content drought in Endless Heist because a lot of people like Endless Heist doc leave, right? But that's way better than, you know, an extra month of content drought, in my opinion. So I don't know. The events have been weird. In terms of like my general opinion on the events, Gauntlet was whatever. It's just Gauntlet. I wasn't like a huge fan of this Gauntlet, simply because of like the meta, and I hate multi-proj. So them doubling down on the multi-proj mechanic feels bad, man, for me. But I expected as much going into this. Then every other event I skipped. Endless Heist. I will be skipping the Delirium League. Basically just played Atlas Invasion. Atlas Invasion's fun. It wasn't what I was expecting it to be. It was a lot less, and I didn't have high standards to begin with, or high expectations. But the fun part about it was pushing ladder is a little bit more interesting because, like, I'll give you an example. If you're pushing ladder in Scourge League, you just don't interact with Scourge, and you're basically playing the standard-based game. It's pretty safe. But if you're pushing ladder in Atlas Invasion, it's like there's a random 5-person hit squad on you in every single map, and you either need really fast reactions, mixed with like luck to not just totally get fucked at some point. because the push to 98, 99, 100 is a long one, and it's really easy to randomly get off screen by Shaper or Elder or whatever at some point through that entire journey. You know what I mean? So it was actually, it made it pushing a little bit more interesting. Let me jump to a different point here since Awakener died. Gave me an orb, by the way. Still no woke gems. So, yeah, I don't know. It made it like slightly more interesting. It's like a little bit of flavor to the base thing, especially like the bosses show up in Delve. The bosses show up in the Awakener arena, which I think is hilarious. I've heard people getting Brutus hooked into storms in Cirrus. I'm very happy that hasn't happened to me yet. I would be very sad if that's how my character died. I did, though. There was the Temple of Solaris boss inside one of the storms in one of my Cirrus fights, just like Scorching Ray spamming me like the entire fight. So that's the worst I've had. Luckily, no Elder, Shaper, any sorts of shenanigans like that have showed up in my Elders or in my Cirrus fights yet. But yeah, overall, they're kind of whatever. I think the Atlas Invasion event definitely had the potential to be way more interesting, but it is what it is. Lastly, I kind of want to cover something here that left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. So GGG announced and released the new core supporter packs. Very cool by them. This is like one of the weaker releases in my opinion, but it does get me really, really hyped for the new endgame bosses. I'm really looking forward to the new endgame bosses, but I have to say the timing of the pack release was a little precarious. Wouldn't you agree? So we have a delay that's going to get announced. It's going to make people upset. But right before they announced the delay, they released the supporter packs and they wait a few days. GGG's not stupid. That's not something they overlooked. Trust me, that's not just a coincidence. They knew that if they were to announce the delay before the packs, they would get less sales, 100%. So I don't feel super strongly about it, but I do kind of like frown on it a little bit. It seems a little bit scummy to me to release these incredibly expensive supporter packs before being transparent with something that's going to negatively affect the players or the game in the short term. In the long term, maybe the league will be better. I've also seen a lot of people saying that anyone who thinks that they're taking this extra time to like make 3.17 launch smoother are ODing on copium because it's still going to come out riddled with bugs and everything. I don't know. There's never a GGG league that comes out that's just like not scuffed in modern day. Ever since the beginning of when I've played the game, really. But I think it obviously got way worse when they split the development team and started doing PoE 2 stuff at the same time. But I don't know, just a lot of stuff about this delay really rubbed me the wrong way for like a multitude of different reasons. It's not the delay itself that I don't like. It's just everything surrounding the delay before it happened feels really, really bad. You know, especially like the supporter packs, them releasing these super expensive supporter packs when hype for the new league is starting to increase because people are like, okay, well, Scourge is about to come to an end. We're getting to the end of the events. You know, we're at the very tail end of Scourge. The teasers are going to start anytime now. New core packs get released. That builds hype, right? Everyone's getting more excited. And then they announced the delay. Like they knew what they were doing, and that's just like, oh man, why would you do that? Anyway, I think that's kind of the end here. Sorry, it was like a little rambly, but that's a lot of my thoughts on this. I just 4 months of Scourge is rough. Definitely not the best league to extend. So it really, really sucks. Stream wise, I'll probably be doing like still mostly PoE for a little bit, and then I will probably transition into like half and half streams where I do PoE first half of stream and then do like some variety, and then probably like the very end I'll probably just be doing full variety, waiting for the next league, you know, sometime next month, because we're looking at literally February. Because one big thing, actually I didn't mention this, one huge thing is they said it would be delayed by at least 2 weeks. They did not say, like, we don't have a release date or anything. They did not say they did not say that it would be delayed by 2 weeks. They said at least 2 weeks. So there is the possibility that it gets extended further. And That would be very sad. Anyway, that's just my general thoughts on it. If you guys agree with me, disagree with me, feel free to let me know. The sentiment so far that I've seen from a lot of people has been so different to my own that I was expecting way more people to be upset about it. Maybe I'm in the wrong, who knows? I've seen so many people with different opinions from me that it's kind of made me second guess, like, am I the asshole? So yeah, I mean, if you guys agree, disagree, let me know. I'm super curious to see what other people think about this, since you know, gauging, like, you know, popular opinion, general opinion about the game at large by Reddit is not the best place to go. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you guys made it through all the way, appreciate you. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video or on stream if you watch those. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy your new year. If you're on, you know, a different hemisphere, happy New Year to you. And if you're, you know, somewhere in NA or whatever, our side of the world, then have a good New Year's tonight. Happy New Year's Eve. Anyway, take it easy, guys. See you in the next one.